I started feeling just goosebumps, which are still all over me. And it takes a lot for that to happen to me, but being open and willing, and I just became more serene. But I felt the bumps coming from my toes, up my legs, and they're still on my arms, and now they're getting more profound, just remembering and reliving them with you.
For more than 15 years, hundreds of thousands of people across Europe have experienced the healing gaze of Braco.
And I don't usually feel a lot of energy, so I wasn't expecting much. But what I noticed is that as he gazes across the room, when his eyes line up with you, then could really kind of feel the energy then. So one of those times I suddenly go, oh, my daughter, I want to think about my daughter, bring her here for blessings. And I could kind of feel the feeling come in from here, intersect with Braco's gaze, come down into my heart, and I could feel like I felt like something was really, really happening. But I had no idea what. Well, my daughter is 22, and at this point in our relationship, she still talked to me kind of like she was 16-year-old with that kind of attitude, you don't know much, and she was always a little sharp. She always kind of tired and cranky with me. The next time I saw her, she spoke so sweetly to me, and she has spoken sweetly to me since then. It's been 2 to 3 months now. And she has now been able to talk with me about some of the very difficult parts of her life that she has never been able to talk with me about before. And to me, that is a real miracle. And it is holding and is continuing to go on.
I met a guy in line yesterday, Joe from Texas. And Joe was in line waiting with me, and he had heard about Braco online, not from a friend, just online. And Joe didn't know anything about Braco, so we were sharing stories. And Joe decided to fly out here from Texas. And his wife wasn't ready to do this. I think she was waiting to see what would happen to Joe. And Joe's this, solid guy, quiet-spoken. And later in the day, I would see Joe in line. Joe, how are you doing? Have you had any experiences? Well, nothing really yet. Okay. Well, in the afternoon, Joe said, I think I really started to connect with Braco. And great, Joe, this is good. Well, this morning, he told me a story. I said, good morning, Joe. I shook his hand. And his eyes were different. His eyes were open and kind of moist. And I said, well, what's going on? And he told me a story. And I have to preface this by saying, I looked for Joe. I wanted Joe to tell the story. But after he told me the story, I asked him, I said, Joe, that's a beautiful story. Can I tell my friends? He said, yes, you can. So, my friends.
See, it's so great to come to these events. You have instantly 500 friends, right? Or thousands actually beyond, right? Awesome.
So, I'm going to tell you. So, Joe called his wife this morning. He said, I called my wife. And he said, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and she's always had psoriasis. And he said, I talked to my wife. She went in to check on the daughter this morning, and it's vastly improved. And he just started, I've got him by the hand, right? Because, we're guys. I see the women holding, they're hugging and crying. We're just shaking hands like this. Whoa, Joe. And we're laughing. And we're crying, because, we're guys. We got to, So since then, I come into this room and my heart has just been so much more open. And, I see Braco and I'm like flooded. And if I were, one of the women, I'd be, asking for a tissue from one of the great guardians here. But I'm a guy, so, we kind of, we... Anyway, I want to thank Joe for opening this heart. And I also have another reason for sharing this, and that is share with each other. Because the gaze comes, but sometimes it like ricochets off one of us and kind of finds an opening in somebody else. So.
Awesome.
When I found out that I was coming to Kona, I put in the Braco America Facebook that if anyone wanted to send pictures, that I was willing to hold them. So these are some of the people that I've never met, and just sending out that energy of through the live stream for them, and it's just brought me so close to people that I'd never ever meet, and have made some wonderful connections through them. So it goes everywhere. So thank you.